Hey going everybody, here I am in my bathroom and today I'm going to talk about urine therapy and baldness. I'd done this video a while back but some reason it mysteriously disappeared off YouTube. Now what is urine therapy? Well, urine therapy is an age-old allophoric practice of using urine to stimulate and create health in the body. Some people use urine therapy for drinking, injecting, soaking and so forth. Might sound gross, and of course if it's new to you, yes, it's quite hard to first come to the concept of doing urine therapy. So for those who don't know about this therapy, I recommend you probably do some reading first and do a bit of research and understand the principles of urine therapy and how it works. Urine basically is a byproduct of your blood. So what's in your blood is in your urine, it's filtered through the kidneys, and it's full of about 2,000 ingredients. 95% is water, 5% remaining, 2.5% of that is urea, and also the other 2.5 are about 2,000 compounds. These compounds are excess that's in your system at that time which your body doesn't use. It needs to take it out of the blood system because you don't want too thick blood, you don't want too thin blood, you don't want too salty or too sugary blood. There's a whole bunch of elements why your body needs to get rid of these excesses. But it doesn't mean it's a waste product, and urine is sterile, so therefore it's clean. It's about the same principle as saying as eating your dinner and not being able to finish it. Is that food on the plate a waste, or is it an excess? So technically, it's an excess. So urine for baldness, I've come across this subject a couple of times and I've met people who have used it. They've tried every other thing, spent a fortune with all these amazing gizmos, electrosis and stimulating the hair follicles with no luck. So part of the baldness can be inherited, it can be stress related, it could be dietary, it could be a number of things. So urine therapy, by drinking urine, for instance, if you do that process, you do reduce the stress in your body as well. And it's known for a great calmer in your own self. So it calms and quietens what's inside you. And that's half the element. So if you can reduce the stress, you're halfway there. But also urine is nourishment. So by applying urine into the hair and just massaging it will stimulate and feed the hair. So massaging those areas is really important too. So you're doing a combination. Some people use just fresh urine, others use aged urine, and the longer the urine is aged, the stronger and more powerful it can be. So, for instance, it can be quite potent. This here is a glass of very, very dark aged urine. It's probably about 8 or 10 years old. It's quite strong, so this is why people start off with fresh. But if you're just utilizing it, sticking your fingers in it and rubbing it in those areas that are worrying you, your bald spots, massaging it into your hair and so on, washing your hair, but massage it right through for a good 15, 20 minutes, even longer. Don't wash it off straight away if you can let it dry. Sometimes it can leave an odor, but then you just rinse it off with water. So using aged urine on the skin is fantastic as well because urea is a natural moisturizer. It does lock in moisture. It also reduces fine lines and wrinkles. You will find urea in a lot of creams. So basically, why waste the $400 when you can have it for free? I would also, after massaging the hair for your 20 minutes, if you can leave it longer and tolerate it, just, get one of these little hotel little caps, wet the hair, cover the hair, and leave it on as long as you can. I mean, the longer the better, and doing this on a regular basis has been proven, and people have claimed this, and I have a few people that have seen it, where they start to see new hair growing and sprouting out. Also, those who had grey hair had noticed that it started to turn back to their former colour, their darker colour. So they were starting to get sort of a salty, peppery look in their hair colours, even on their beards. And this can be intensified by just drinking as well. So if you do a combination of not only massaging, but drinking, and that works from the inside out as well. So that nourishment will hopefully increase, stimulate and produce hair growth. Sometimes I've heard cases where people have just unfortunately had no success, but they will pass the point of, they've been bald for many, many, many years. So it's very hard to reverse severe cases. I have heard of those cases having slight new regrowth, but not a full set of hair. So if you can try and catch this before you start, key is not to worry. It's normal for hair to fall out at certain times. Excess amount, obviously, you might want to start doing it. I mean, our natural areas here for men, our hair recedes. That's a normal human thing that does happen. But if you're a bit worried about it, then just rub that on there and then just, keep at it. So I invite you now for, have a go, try it out. Basically, feel free to blog your experiences. I've had a few people on some Facebook pages show photos of their experience with the hair returning back. I have seen it where a lady in India had pure sort of white grey hair returning back to dark hair as it nourished the hair follicles. And I've seen in America a fellow that was in the half process of returning the hair to a bit of a salt and peppery look to it. So if you can't handle aged urine because it is quite strong, just use fresh to start with. But the longer it is aged, the more, it's like a bottle of wine really. The longer the wine matures, or the longer the urine matures, the better the quality as well. This is also great for just general massaging into the skin, which it nourishes the skin. And if you're doing other things like fasting, it helps reduce palpitations and things like that as well. So that's my updated version of restoring your hair growth through using this very controversial subject and product called urine. Thanks for watching, and keep tuning in for more videos.